Everyone, welcome to Sunbeam Tarot. This video's messages are going to be on your next relationship. So before I get started on that, I just wanted to say to those of you who have started subscribing and commenting, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. And I love all your comments. They're very beautiful and supporting. When you start off with YouTube, if any of you have, it is very much like screaming into a void where you don't know if anyone's going to see your videos. You're lucky if you get 5 views in a week or something like that. And that's not what it's about, for me at least. But it is really nice to just see the people who are commenting and saying such encouraging things like, I hope that your channel grows. I can't wait to see how much you blossom. Thank you so much. That is amazing to me. And that is why I love tarot so much, because this community is so open and inviting and about like everyone's journey and growth in terms of like their energy and who they are. And I just love that. So thank you so much. With that, if you like what you see here, please like and comment some more. I do love it. Subscribe if you haven't already. You could even follow me on Instagram. It is also Sunbeam Tarot, same logo as well. Tell other people about it, and not just about me. Tell other people about other tarot channels that you love. Just share your world with people because it is so beautiful, and to build that community is so lovely. So thank you so much for me and for other tarot channels out there. So let us go ahead and get started here with what your next relationship is going to be. My vibe with this, when I thought of it, was to have it be fun the way it was when we were kids. Do you guys remember the game MASH? Here, I got a little example of it here. With MASH, it was like you would do a spiral, at least this is our version, and then you would count the ticks, and then with that you would count that number over and over again to get which home, the number of kids, the spouse, your type of job, and how much money you would make, something like that. It was so much fun, and that's the vibe I wanted to get with this. When you're thinking about your next relationship, it shouldn't be like this doom and gloom, it has to happen, it has to be this one. It's not here yet, that lack of energy sort of vibe. It should be very much like fun, like the excitement of who's going to be around the corner, right? Who's it going to be next time? You don't know. And that's what's so fun about it, to be detached from that aspect and to see who it could possibly be. That's what I want for you guys, for it to just be a really fun, light energy. So with that, and to bring in that MASH aspect here, I've got a bunch of different bags. We've got eye color, hair color, zodiac sign, and that will be whether their sign is like their sun sign or a sign that they show most prominent features of, and then some initials here as well. And then these cards right here are going to be the animal oracle, the animal spirit oracle, and that's to pull off some ideas of their personality, like what traits they're like how they operate in the world. And then I'm also going to pull a romance angels message for every group. And then on top of that, I also am going to pull a self-care oracle. This is for you, the viewer, specifically. By the way, this is a timeless reading, so whenever you get to it, whenever you see this, that is when you were supposed to see it, that type of thing. If you watch it more than once, still timeless reading still applies. But anyways, this self-care oracle, your most important relationship, regardless of your next one, your last one, the one 3 times from now, your current and most important relationship always is the one you have with yourself. And that's how any of these other people you get attracted to and attract into your life. So I'll pull the message for you as well to see what type of things that you could do to promote your relationship with yourself, because it's very, very important. All right, so our groups here. I got these little swimmers from a friend. They're very funny and they're really like squishy. And we used to hide them around my house for fun, which is great. But they all have different swim trunks on and different names. So group 1's here is the yellow trunks, and his name is Ryan. Group 2, your swimmer has pink trunks and his name is Mitch. And group 3, yours has the greenish trunks and his name is Cody. So I'll give you a second here to feel which one has the funnest energy for your next relationship. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started with group number 1. Okay, group 1, so if you chose the swimmer with the little yellow plants, Ryan, then these are gonna be your messages. So I'm gonna put them over here. So again, we've got our main messages here, our spirit animal oracle card that's gonna describe their personalities a bit. And then we've got all these bags and boxes here are holding eye color, hair color, zodiac, and letters for initials. So we got that going for us. And then I also will pull a romance angels for everyone pretty soon. And I will pull a self-care oracle as well, because your number one relationship always and forever is with yourself. So we should make sure that we're taking care of that. And I got all this here, so then we're having lots of fun, keeping it light and fresh, kind of like we did when we played MASH when we were kids. In case you ever played that, I want this to be light and fun as we go through this. If you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. That will be very helpful. And I also just like to hear what people say, so that's about it. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So our spirit animal is the tarantula. Put him right there. And then for our cards, we have the King of Wands, the Nine of Wands, okay, Justice, move him, move these guys too, actually, sorry, group one, ooh, sorry there, okay, and then we have the Two of Cups, and Judgment. Wow. Okay, group one. So let's get into it then. Tarantula. What type of personality do I see this as? This is a person very much of fire energy, especially since we have the fire symbol on top here. They're somebody who thinks with their head a lot, and like they're very much mind and logistics. So everything they do is calculated. Everything they do is based off of what makes sense, not necessarily based off of feeling necessarily, but it might be negatively. I'll get into that in a second. So I picture somebody who's an IT guy for some reason, or a consultant, maybe a little nerdy. They like to think, they like to use their brain, they like data. That is something that I see in this person too. They're very calm when they're in the thick of their environment where they have to think and it's their job, so that's why I think of those things. So they're not stressed out by big things like coding or having to do stuff with big numbers or having to think that way. Sometimes having to deal with people might stress them out. And so when I think of their thoughts, this is very good. This is a very smart person. And they're very passionate about the things that they like, which is very data-driven or thought-based. This might be someone who also has a lot of opinions on politics or the state of the world or things like that. They're also very anxious. They might have social anxiety. They might overthink a lot. And that overthinking can affect the way they interact with people, the way they interact with you. And they might, because of that, run a little hot and cold. They might scurry away, they might come back, things like that. So very, very smart, very passionate, super nerdy in a very data sort of way, I feel. And yeah, just very passionate as well, which goes well with the King of Wands. We got fire energy. We got lots of fire energy. Again, he's somebody who knows his passions, he knows what he likes, and that's something that you're very much drawn to. You're the same way, I'm getting, especially with the Two of Cups here. You're both very similar and cut from the same cloth in terms of not necessarily what you like, but you're passionate and you're opinionated. And sometimes that might come into a sense of like a duel within the two of you. That could be a thing, which could be very stressful at times. This relationship, I'll be honest, it might bog you down a little bit. I'm not necessarily seeing anything in terms of whether this is long-term or not, but I see two people who are willing to make that effort together, whatever the decisions are in terms of this relationship, you both are going to agree on that. So that's kind of nice. So like if it was something where this was long term, you'll work through your issues together, which is beautiful because there are some anxiety issues. If it was for whatever reason where it got to be too much and you needed to cut off for some reason, I see you guys still remaining, like it wouldn't be a huge blowout. It would somehow just be like, okay, we gotta just break it off. So that's really nice, like I like that, because not every relationship is supposed to just last forever. And so I don't want you to stress out if you see something like that and you're like, oh no, like it's not a forever thing. If it's not, group one, it's fine, because you can still have connections with people that matter, and um, they evolve into something better than a romantic relationship sometimes. I have a relationship with that with one of my friends. We dated for 4 years, like 10 years ago, and now we're very good friends. And our relationship is infinitely better than it was when we were in a relationship. Just saying. But with that, um, I see a lot of just emotional strides, especially for the part of the person. So somebody who just really judges themselves, has a hard time with things. Sorry, you can't see in the camera. Has a hard time with certain things sometimes. And that could really get in the way of the relationship and how you guys interact with one another. They might even just, because of their hot and cold, they might go away a little bit, they might come back. And that is up to you, group one, to kind of put your foot down on that. So here's what I see. Again, you guys are going to treat this the same way. So if it was something that it was bogging you down and you're feeling a little heavy energy over it, well, you both can have the decision to discuss that, to talk about anxiety. I kind of feel like this is somebody that you already know, or it's the type of personality that this person is something you've experienced a lot of before, so you're a little more well versed in this. So maybe in the past you've had a lot of experiences with people where they just were, their anxiety, the way they're behaving, they probably did stuff that they blamed their emotions on, or their thought process, and they would do things that were unforgivable or really shitty, and you might have as well. And then use the excuse of like, well, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm upset, I'm anxious. They talk about their past, whatever. Like, and that's not it. That's not. There's no judgment there on that. What I'm getting at is, we learn from stuff like that, right? We've all done that. We've all done things due to our baggage and due to our thought processes and due to our past, and we've behaved in certain ways because of that. I think this might be someone you've known or have experience with that type of personality, and you might have handled it differently in the past, and now it might be asking you to, are you going to do that again? Or not? And then that comes into the question of, why are you attracting this type of personality? Is this something that you're heavily attracted to? This lovely, passionate drive? This might be something that you need. You might need a little bit of drama, of mental and social drama with a person, to make you feel a little thrived and alive. Which, again, no judgment. We're all a certain way, but we attract the type of people we attract because of the way we are inside ourselves. And if that's something that is fine with you, that's completely great, and please go with it. This is who you are as a person, and there's no need to change or anything. But if it is something that this is really bogging you down and you're really feeling it this time, you can start balancing the scales here with this justice, and do it as one with this person. So it would be a lot of communication. It'd be a lot of, hey, look, I've done stuff in the past, you've done stuff in the past. Let's accept that we are as we are. We're very similar people. What do we want to do about that? Do we want to grow? Do we want to have this whole relationship just have like a giant rebirth and a reset? Or do we is our balancing of our scales just cutting our ties? So it's not, like, for some of you, it might be that where it is just a temporary relationship, or a very important, like, profound relationship that helps you teach something about yourself, which is great. Or it might be something where, like, you can grow with this person. It's just going to take a lot of effort, and it's going to take a lot of effort on both parts, and understanding of the other person, and then understanding you, because you are one of the same in terms of how you deal with emotions, how you communicate, how you express yourself. But very, very passionate. Definitely somebody that you find physically attractive, and also their passion, their energy, that just drives you to them so much. And is also a type of person where you, group one, like, for some of you, this might be someone that for some reason, like, you're the only type of person that finds them attractive. Not to say they're not cute or anything. It's just like there's something about them that drives you to them and them to you. And there might be like some friends or people around you that are like, why? Why do you feel this way about them? Because when I think of tarantulas, I think of like very specific people who might love tarantulas. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting with that. But whatever it is, they understand a part of you and you understand a part of them that no one else gets. And that also helps you understand yourself a bit more, and then helps you decide, okay, does this relationship serve me? Yes, he's super hot. Yes, I'm physically attracted to him. Yes, I love these fiery aspects of him. But is there more that I could go with? I will learn. So this is definitely a relationship of learning. Let's pull an oracle card for you for romance. Ooh, this one wants to come out. All right. Interesting. Let your friends help you. Ask for support and accept support from others. So this actually goes back to this. I know it says friends, but like I said for my thing as well, one of my relationships turned into a really big friendship. Ask for help and accept support from others. This is that tie, that duality of we need to work with each other on how we deal with our stuff in this relationship. We're in this together until we're not, or in this together forever. It's up to you. So I really like that there. Let us pull actually, before I pull a self-care, let me go ahead and pull some of these guys. All right, so I've got eye color in here. So I'm just gonna open it. I'm not gonna look. Let's pull up this one. Cool, let's see what we got here. So this person is going to have green eyes. Nice. I like green eyes. They're pretty fun. Okay. Let's pull out a hair color here. We've got, this is funny. We have no hair, and then in parentheses it says sexy. And I put that on there because I was thinking, some people might think no hair and be like, ugh, but I put sexy in there because, sometimes that might be something that you go for, it's something that, this is very specific for only some of you in group one, but, that's that thing where some people might not like someone who doesn't have hair, but you're like, I'm all for it. So there's that. They could also just shave their head a lot. Who knows? Be covered in tattoos, something like that. In green eyes. Okay, now let's get some letters here. I'm only going to pull 2, and they're dice. So I'm just going to pull some ones here and then shake them all about and then drop them. So your initials that you're looking at here are E and I, whatever that means to you. For some reason, I thought Eli, if that matters to anybody. And then some zodiacs. So the zodiacs in my head, I'm going to think of them as the person's sun sign or the person's most prominent sign that they express, because we have every single zodiac in our natal chart. So it's not like we only exhibit the characteristics of one, which is why I am so weird sometimes about like reading people's signs, because I'm like, we have all of them and we express all of them, but this will be either their sun sign or the sign that they exhibit the most. Taurus! That's me. Someone who's very, very stubborn. So they might be a Taurus. They might have parts of them that are a Taurus. They butt heads a lot. We overthink a lot as well as people. So there's that. Yeah, very cool. And we love passionate stuff. So that's cool. Let's see. Our last thing here is, oh yeah, our self-care, guys. So before I go into that, next relationship. I said this in the introduction, but I did this because I wanted it to be fun, right? Like some of this will resonate with some of you, some of it won't, and that's completely okay. And I don't want this to be like a make or break, like this is forever. So like with the hair color and the eye color, I don't want you to just look for somebody who's bald and has green eyes and like that's the thing you're focusing on. This is it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to liven up your vibration a little bit, allow you to accept whatever's coming, And if this exact thing comes for you, that's great. Like that's really cool. And if it doesn't, maybe it's because you didn't want that and you lightened up your vibration and you attracted something else to you. Maybe this was just what you needed to see to help you realize that you don't want this sort of thing again. It's up to you, right? So you have free will. But I don't want anyone to get so bogged down with the idea of a new relationship or the next relationship that they aren't living their lives and they're having fun. It's all should be fun. Like thinking about who your next love should be totally fun. All right, self-care. Ooh. Let's see. Self-care for group 1. Okay. Interesting. Plan a vacation. Very fun because right now we can't do much right now, but we might soon depending on where you live. But I love this idea of, when I look at this, I think of impulse, like do something a little out of the ordinary than what you typically do. So that can be a vacation. It could just be going out. It could just be doing something different, mixing it up for yourself, mixing up what you normally do with your thoughts or your feelings or how you handle certain situations. So that kind of goes back to this a little bit, just switching it up. That is for you guys. Thank you so much for looking at this reading. It has been so much fun, group 1. We are now going to move on to group number 2. Hi, group number 2. So if you chose the little swimmer with the pink swim shorts, his name is Mitch, then these are going to be your messages. So I'm going to actually put them down over here. So again, we've got our general tarot right here, as well as an animal spirit to decipher some of their personality traits. And here we've got eye color, then we got some bags for hair color, zodiac, and then also initials. So we're just a lot of fun aspects here just to kind of keep it light and silly. It reminds me of being a kid and doing that stuff and like playing MASH or whatever and trying to figure out who you're going to marry. And I just want it to be fun and light. And then on top of that, I also will have romance angel cards that I'll pull for each group, as well as a self-care oracle, because at the end of the day, the most important relationship is one with yourself. And so I want to be able to get a message about that out there. If you like what you see, you can like, comment, subscribe. I really love people's comments. They really make me feel good, and it's just nice to talk to people in the tarot community, right? So let's go ahead and get started. For our personality for the animal tarot, we have Black Egg. That's cool. Then we have the King of Coins. Interesting. Last group got King of Wands. So you've got King of Pentacles. Then we've got the Nine of Cups. How fun, you guys. Sorry, Nine of Cups. And the Lovers. Oh my gosh, you guys. So this deck has more than one Lovers card, and you got 2 of them. 2 Lovers cards. And the Hierophant. What? Okay. Yes, so real quick, side tangent. This tarot deck has it's got 4 depictions of the Lovers card in there, and I just leave them all in there, right? Because it shows different depictions of love. So it'll show like man and women, man and man, undecipherable in terms of like what their gender or sex is. I love it all. So I leave them all in there because I want, all love the same, and like sometimes it means different things. When I look at these different pictures, I see different aspects of love aside from just sex or sexual preference. So I left them all in there, and you guys have a great thing going on here. Wow. Okay. So let's start with this. Cool. The Black Egg. So we got the little psychic star here, Spirit. I see somebody who's very, very spiritual. They're somebody who is also just a very free bird. They're accepting of others. They're real chill. They have very little judgment of what other people do or don't do, and they also are really in touch with their feelings. So somebody who is probably really good at being a counselor or talking to other people or giving advice. Maybe sometimes they overstep their boundaries, I would say, in terms of like how they talk to other people or things like that. That's really cool. They might have been somebody when they were younger who was overly present, if that makes sense. Like, have you ever had like that friend who was just always there and like always trying to help you, and you're like, dude, back off, or like this, you're overbearing, like very smothering. Like they might have that aspect of themselves too, which is fine. Like it's not a bad thing. It's just a part of who they are. I'm just gonna adjust the camera just a smidge. Perfect. Okay. It's just a part of who they are, and that's all going back to like their love of people. They might love their family, and when you meet them, you might be like, ooh, they're so mysterious. I picture someone who's like tall, dark, and handsome when I look at this card. Um, Very spiritual. Might be someone who's even like dabbled in tarot a little bit, or any sort of spiritual aspects like that, or witchcraft as a kid, or just was really into it. Loves art, loves um, just loves life. Probably someone who also really loves plants. I don't know. I'm getting that, especially with this King of Pentacles here, and he is surrounded by plants. Uh, Somebody who he's emotionally secure, and he's also pretty secure in terms of his money. For some of you, I also see somebody who is a little bit of a minimalist. So they don't have a lot, they don't feel like they need a lot, but they feel like a king of their castle, right? Um, that might be like a barrier for some of you, where you're like, I want somebody who's a lot more financially successful and has a lot more money. For some of you, like it might be like a status thing for some of you, but for others, you're like, it's cool, he's got what he needs, or she. I just say he because it's like the king, so don't worry about me saying it's a man or female. It's just how I say it. But it might be that they don't need a lot. They don't need a lot, or they have exactly what they need to get what they want. I see a bit of both, because of course when I think of Pentacles, I think of Earth, which is all about like luxury items and having excess of stuff. But for some reason, I just see somebody who, like, this isn't the person who's gonna have a sports car, right? This is the person who's gonna spend a lot of their money maybe on like traveling, or on like charity, or they might have a lot of stuff, but it's like all sentimental to them. So that's kind of how I picture that. Or again, it's somebody who is a minimalist. It's I'm seeing a mix of both for you guys. And when you look at them though, and when they look at you, it is very much like you are the answer to what I've been looking for this whole time, and you didn't realize it. So that's really cool. You might meet them at a party, when we all get to go to parties again, or something that's artistically based. So like a play, an art gallery, something that you're spiritually into. You might see them that way, and it will just be like, oh my god, this person exists. What? And there's some longevity here with this. The interesting thing about this King of Coins too is that they're not going to rush into a relationship with you by any means, and it might even confuse you at first, because they'll be so nice to you that you'll even be confused of, are they being nice to me because they're attracted to me, or are they being nice to me because they're just nice to everyone? So that might be something that you're like hemming and hawing over for a bit and confused on. They're going to take things really slow, which may or may not frustrate you. And they're going to take things slow because A, they're very nice. B, they might just naturally not instantly fall for you. Or they might be like, wow, this person's amazing, but not like just rush into anything because they feel that way. And also they still focus on keeping a balance with themselves and their inner being, who they are, which is great. Like, you want that in a person, right? Which is probably why you're like, oh my god, this person is everything I want, because you've probably been used to just like fast romance, or like maybe things going slow but then fizzling out. Also with this Hierophant here, again, like somebody who's maybe a little bit more traditional in terms of how they court you, but also this goes with the whole Black Eight and the spiritual thing. Like, this could be a teacher, like somebody who teaches at a school, like philosophy or something, or a high school. Like, I see a high school teacher for some reason, like someone who you're like, wow, you deal with snot-nosed teenagers all day, and like they're your favorite teacher, like that sort of thing. This also could be a person who is like a spiritual teacher. So it could be, I see somebody who like like I said, they could be into tarot or into like astrology or something, and they just teach people love and kindness that way, like almost like not a priest or anything, but just somebody who spreads love, right? So I see that as well, especially for someone who's a little bit more minimalistic. Like that might be their whole thing, is like, just give me a camera and YouTube, and I'm spreading the word, right? Or again, very much a teacher, a counselor, a therapist, even someone who could really like understand and in tune with people. So let's look at these two lovers cards here. Interesting. So I look at this card and look at this girl's face. Like, she is all about it. She's like, look at me. Oh my gosh, you're so cute. And he's like, hi. How's it going? I'm just being sweet. I also picture him with long hair. I picture him very tall with long dark hair, but that's just me. But I see you just being like, ooh, very fiery energy about this person. And them at first being very reserved and traditional, very kind, polite. They have manners, which is why it's another huge thing. You're like, oh my God, like this is the person who's going to pull out your chair for you to sit down, or open the door for you to your car. And you're like, why are you opening my car door? And then with time, I see, this is my favorite lovers card, by the way, because it shows so much tender emotion in this deck. But I see just two people who are vulnerable with each other and tender, and the love is sensual, but it is also just very loving. Like, it is very like emotional, like that making love sort of energy. So I see them taking their time with you, but then when they do, like, it's so worth it. They're so relaxed and calm, and you feel safe with them, and it just feels really good to be around them throughout the whole thing. So like, it might be a little overwhelming at first or frustrating at first that they're not moving fast enough or confusing, but then you just like being around them so much that the process doesn't really matter, and before you know it, they're like, you guys are like together. Oh my gosh, I love this energy group too. This is so sweet. I love it so much. Let's pull an oracle card for you of love. I wonder if it's like a new person. I mean, like, it feels like a new person to me. Let's see. Not group one, group two. Group two. Group two. Ooh, okay. Interesting. All right, I'm going to pull one more because that is an interesting energy there. That might be more of a thing for you guys, or it might be a thing about them. Let's see. Ooh, one more for group two. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So this might just be a message for some of you, or to explain why they're taking so much time. Maybe they have some energy they need to release of their past or yours. But that's why it's so great that this is going slow. So then you could really just build up and let go of the way things were with someone in the past and release that energy, so you can really allow this great, amazing relationship to come in, right? And the reason why I think these two go together, because when it says express your love, I'm seeing that as express, like, go ahead and make the romantic gesture is what it says. So with that kind of ties into this one for me, because I'm seeing this girl who's just like, hey, I like you. So you might have to be the one to say it to them first. You might have to be the one to like really open up to them and go, okay, look, like, here's the deal. I'm very attracted to you. Like, what do you feel? But I'm also taking that with this as like, don't be afraid to do this. Don't be afraid that if you're used to somebody coming up to you first and telling you how they feel, and this person isn't doing that, don't be afraid to just say something to them. So you're not sitting in this energy of like, oh my God, this person doesn't like me, I might as well just like quit, right? Or like not do anything, or behave in a certain way that confuses them. They probably like you, and then you might be confusing them, and then they're like, oh, I guess they don't. Like, I've seen that happen to some people as well. So express yourself as well, okay? It will help you also clear this energy and really accept this amazing love with this amazing teacher sort of vibe here. That's so cool. Let's get some fun little things about eye color, hair color, and zodiac. And I'm not going to look at this. So I just want these to be fun. These are fun little aspects. We're not going to focus too hard on them. Ooh, interesting. I haven't seen this one. Yellowish. So you know like that yellowish brown color of eyes and like you rarely see it like this? This is the color that I think of when I think of that yellowish color of an eye. That's really cool. Very magical. Okay, let's get out hair color. Okay, we got, this is funny, we got dyed. So their hair might be different colors for some of you. This might be very specific. That goes with the whole free spirit thing, I feel. They might have multiple colors. They might have hair that might be graying prematurely, so then they dyed it. They might just have had fun before and they dyed it crazy colors and then they dyed it to a natural color. Like whatever it is, like their hair has been dyed before, so they're very free bird about that. So that's fun. Whether or not their hair is currently dyed, but in general, like they probably have dyed their hair. That's cool. All right, let's get a zodiac for you. And for the zodiacs, I think of it in terms of either their sun sign or a sign that they express a lot of. Because we do both. This makes sense. Libra energy. Someone who is very... He reminds me of like someone I knew from my past who was tall, had long hair, who also dyed their hair, very spiritual, free bird, very like communicative, great with like love and communications. And they were also Libra, so they were like great with talking with people, great with like feeling out, that sort of thing. Libras are fun. I love Libras. Good for you guys. Oh, I forgot. Let's get out our 2 initials. I'm only going to choose 2, and they're dice, so I'm just going to roll them. Actually, I'm going to choose 3 for some reason. I'm feeling these 3 right now. Okay, so we've got a C, an E, and an L. Cell. Or less, or, you know, you guys might know more than I do about this, but that's your initials there for that. So that's really cool, group 2. The last thing I'm going to do is pull you your self-care oracle here for your lovely relationship. Oh, beauty ritual. Very cool, you guys. So for you, group 2, this is not just about like putting on makeup or like doing your nails. It's about just finding things that make you feel beautiful, doing things that make you feel good. Is that a bubble bath? Is that massaging your hair? Is that just looking in the mirror and saying how beautiful you are? Is that your tattoos? Like you might be someone who does tattoos and that's your way of expressing art on yourself, like beauty. This might be even a thing like before you come across a person like this where like if especially with this energy of releasing your ex, it might be helpful to think of yourself as beautiful and hold and touch yourself as a way that makes you feel beautiful. So like a good example is when I put lotion on, I like really think about what it feels like to put that lotion on my legs and my arms, like with such care and such love and feeling the moisture and just really appreciating the body that I have and feeling it as beautiful as I put lotion on me, right? And I do the same thing with when I scrunch my hair because I got curly hair. Like I'll scrunch it very delicately and with care and love for my curls and things like that. So that's something that you should really do for yourself. Really bring out that love energy for you so then this sort of person can come in. And with this stuff, I've been telling every group, sorry, I got a frog in my throat right now. With this sort of stuff, like the eyes, the hair, the zodiac sign, don't like focus too hard on it because this should all be fun. Like you going on YouTube and watching a love reading should be light and happy and make you feel good and make you be like, ooh, the possibilities of it having the yellowish eyes, that's really fun, but don't necessarily go out into the world and just look for that only, right? Because then you'll be putting out an energy of lack, but the idea of energy of, ooh, a person's out there and that feels good, then you carry that energy with you and then you bring forth the person that you want to be with, right? Like, or the next person that matches your energy. And that's really what you want at the end of the day is somebody who makes you feel good and not necessarily somebody who's like dyed hair, yellowish eyes, and like a Libra. If they are those things, that's really cool, but it's more about bringing out the fun aspect of welcoming love into your life. So that's the last thing I wanted to say on that. Thank you so much, Group 2, for watching my video here on your next relationship. It was very fun. We're now going to move on to group number 3. Right, Group 3. So if you chose the swimmer with the little bluish green shorts, Cody, then these are going to be your messages. I like Cody. I think he's my favorite. So we're going to have our general tarot here as well as our spirit animal oracle for like personality traits of your person. And then we're also going to have in these boxes I got eye color, hair color, zodiac, and like initials. So lots of fun aspects here with that. And then I also will be pulling a romance angels for everyone. And for fun, I will also be doing a self-care oracle as well, because your most important relationship is with yourself always and forever. And so a nice little message on what you could do to work on that relationship is very important as well. If you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe. I really love people's comments. They make me feel good. Talk to me. I'll talk to you back. You can also tell other people about me if you feel so inclined. I don't know why I just said that. I've never said that before, but here we go. All right, group 3. All right, so we're going to start with these guys. So you guys got 2. So we got elephant, it's a fire energy here, and turtle, water energy. So we're either dealing with 2 different people or aspects of both of those types of animals. For our tarot, we have the 10 of Wands, the Page of Coins, Page of Pentacles. It's a pretty one. We have the Chariot. We have the 3 of Cups. This is fun. And the 8 of Pentacles. Pretty fun, you guys. All right, let's get into it here. Let's get into what we see. So, I'm going to start with the personality of these people. So, group 3, this might be for some of you. This might be pertaining to one person, whatever. So, let's start with elephant. This is a type of person who is like very strong. I see someone who like probably really likes sports, or it does stuff with their hands. Maybe they're like a construction worker or something where they just have to use a lot of brute force. Or they're just a big person in general, like just very buff and strong. But they're sweet, like they're like little teddy bears. Like that's kind of how I see this person. And they're very much like a homebody, I guess, in a way. Like they love their environment, and that's all they really need, right? Like I think of like a really small town sort of person, or like a vibe of, why would I ever leave? I've got everything I want right here. Like that type of vibe. Everything they want, all the things that they care about are right within reach. So that's what I think of that flame as. Everything that they're passionate about, everything that they love is right there with them. So why go any further, right? So I definitely see like a homebody, somebody who's content with the way things are. And that's kind of beautiful though, like especially if the way things are great. Now if they're not, then that's a whole nother thing. But the reason why that they're like that is because they trust that everything that they have is like right there. So they might be spiritual, they might be religious, they might just have faith that everything that they have or need, everything that they need they'll have or whatever. So I really like that energy about them. They could also be a little hot-headed sometimes, and but very easy to like calm down and talk about with. So there's that as well. So they maybe not explode often, but when they do, it's like, whoa, scary. Not to say that they're like in any sense a dangerous person. It's just that, you know, sometimes if people yell at me, I get like, or just get upset, then I feel uncomfortable. So that sort of thing. If they're in a very negative mood, you're like, okay, they're a little hot-headed right now and they need some space. But they still trust things. And in terms of, because when we think of elephants, we think of wisdom. I don't necessarily see somebody who like goes out looking for research. Like they're not a researcher. They're not looking for things. But once you tell them something, they remember it forever. Hence why they probably didn't try super hard about that. Like, have you ever met some of those people in high school where like they didn't work hard, but they remembered everything, and so they always got 100% on the quizzes. Like, that's the type of vibe I get from this person. They just remember everything, and so they know what they know about the stuff that they like and that they're passionate about, and they're really adverse in that stuff, and everything else in terms of information, it just sort of like comes to them if it wants to come to them. Excuse me. Just drinking coffee over here. Then we got our next person or energy, which is the turtle. So I think of this person as like, they love, so different from the elephant. They love adventure, they travel, they love going places, they have lots of fun stories, and they're like really good at storytelling. So I think of, and they're well versed. They read a lot. This is the type of person who reads a lot of anything, fiction, nonfiction, fantasy, comic books. Like, they just love reading. They love art. Probably someone who's in theater, I feel, is very like a performer or an artist in some way, and they travel for that. Or they promote stuff that's art based. So they might sell some stuff that people love. I even see someone who like does stuff maybe with technology, but again, it's the technology of like, this is how we can communicate, this is how you can put your own art out there, like an entrepreneur in that way. So they're very charming, and they're very sweet, and they're really great to talk to. The opposite side of them, so as this person is like brute force and like never gives up and is an unstoppable energy, this person can shut down sometimes emotionally, and it's not a thing against you. It's just more of, okay, if any of you have ever heard of this, let me know. There's a theory out there called like the spoons theory, and it's where they talk about like mental health and like depression, things like that, and how sometimes we only really have the energy to handle like a few spoons of stuff in our day, right? We only have so many spoons for stuff, and then after that we're emotionally and mentally spent, and we kind of just need to be by ourselves. That's what I see with this person. Like, they're really charming, they go out there, they like talk to people, and then all of a sudden they kind of go whoomp, like I need my alone time now, and it's they take it for themselves, and they don't necessarily cater to the, like, they hope other people understand, but they're not going to cater to it at that point. They're just going to quite literally go into their shell and recharge until they're ready to come back out again. And that might look weird to some of you. Like, some of you might be able to accept this and be like, they're just doing their thing, and you should like try to understand this personality trait in them as best as you can. And with that, you know, if you need something with them, like, that's something you're gonna have to communicate. Like, I like, for instance, I'm the type of person where if someone were to turn away from me, I might take that a little personally, and I might wonder why. But if I communicate with them, then I'll understand and I'll know. That's the thing you have to do. You have to kind of communicate with them on that. Beautiful energies. I love that. I love the turtle. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Sorry, friends. I'm just like thinking. So, it's gonna be, when you meet this person, or when this kind of starts up, it's gonna be one of those things where like nothing's happened for a really long time, and then all of a sudden it just like does. So I see this here, and I see like the 10 of Wands, and when I look at this, I look at someone who's like, ugh, okay, like, I've been putting the work into me forever and blah, 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 blah. But like, putting the work into you is great. It's something you should do, something that they should do. And with that, it's actually this time of singledom, this time of being alone, has really helped the both of you to really like grow as people. And that's why those plants are so long like that, because they've been growing even when you haven't really noticed it. And so then all of a sudden, you're in a good place where you can just drive forward here. Oh, I love how the horses are the cats. And you just drive forward, right? Like the Chariot, where all of a sudden we see each other, boom, go, yes. You might meet this person through a friend, or at like a really social gathering, where people are there that you know. And so they might introduce you. You might even start off as friends. I don't really necessarily see that, though. I feel like the attraction's going to come pretty pretty quickly where both of you are going to go, oh, I like this other person, but you might be a little reserved at first and really take your time because the both of you are in this space of, I just got out of being single, I was really liking being single, so I'm really going to sit here and focus on this in terms of, do I really want this right now? Do I really want this person? And that's good. I like that in the both of you. And that comes with both of these energies as well, because we have like the elephant here who's wise, and he has to sit there and think about, what do I like? Does this apply to that? Do I want something different than what I normally like? And then you have the turtle who's in, slow and steady, and is very meticulous on like, what can I like, the things I like, and I know where I go, and I like to travel, and I like to do this. Do I want to add this portion into my life as well? So I like this slow, getting to know each other. That's why I think of this, getting to know what this relationship can be. And that slow process can really pay off in a lot of ways. Like, this could be long term, especially when you then look at this and you see people working on the details of this relationship, really fashioning into something that they want it to be. And it's not, I know that like sometimes the Eight of Pentacles, you think of it as like super hard work, but I think of it as like effortless hard work, where it's, you just put in the effort and everything turns out right. It's effortless in a way. The same way it might be effortless for people to draw every day, or for, they do it because it feels good. And so that's kind of how I see that. So with these people, with this unstoppable force and things like that, when you're looking at somebody who, are these sorts of energies, and you go towards them, I also think of the unstoppable force as the elephant, or the chariot, and just drives the same way that they do. It's about like just taking your time and just really embracing who they are and all sorts of aspects of them in this personality types that I haven't even mentioned maybe. So like, maybe they are unstoppable and wise, but getting to know why that is, getting to know their favorite stories, getting to know where they've traveled, getting to know who they are, being like a friend to them, like it's like, it's one of those relationships where the person's like your best friend. I love those types of relationships. That's what I'm seeing for you as well. It's just really getting to have a solid foundation with this person. So it might be really long term, and it might be like the one for some of you, which is really, really cool. So yay, good for you guys. Let's see what we got here in terms of romance angels. I'm sorry, guys. My brain is just not here this morning. Okay, group three. Ooh, here we go. Oh my gosh, the last group got this too. So express your love. So like, go ahead and make the romantic gesture. You might have to make the romantic gesture first. You might have to be the one to like really reach out and start this process. Let me pull one more though, because I don't feel like that's for everyone. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, here we go. What did I just say? Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So it's really about getting to know each other, talking it out, really building it the way you wanting to. Maybe even starting out as friends. That's fun. I like that. I've had my, we've all had our fair share of like whirlwind romances and like on and off and hot and cold. So I really like, and like friends, where people start off as friends and then become your lovers. So I love the sort of energy where it's just like, you just get to know people and you get to have fun with it. And it's supposed to be chill, which is the most important thing I want to emphasize here. It's supposed to be chill and relaxed. You're supposed to feel good, and really enjoy yourself. And you should enjoy yourself with that one. I like that. All right, let's pull some characteristics of what they might look like, friends. All right, here we go. We got our eye color in here. Not looking. Ooh, this is an interesting, fun color. Gray eyes. So maybe it's like, sometimes it's gray, like, sometimes their eyes might be blue and then gray and then change. That's really cool. Let's pick out a hair color. Ooh, you. Ashy blonde. So we got ashy blonde. So I was thinking like that color where sometimes people, it's not blonde, but it's like that weird color of, not weird, but that color between brown and blonde a bit. That's kind of how I see that. That's fun. Let's look at their zodiacs. Their zodiacs, I'm thinking of it in terms of either their sun sign or the signs that they present the most in themselves, because all of the signs are in our natal chart. So let's see. Ooh, I got 2, which makes sense because we've got 2 personalities here. So I will take them both. Taurus, love. I'm a Taurus, that's why I love it so much. And Virgo, lots of earth signs here, friends, which makes sense because we've got slow energy. We've got lots of earth energy here, really thinking things out. So your person might very much be a Virgo or Taurus, or have those aspects in them where they're just casual. They go with the flow. It's very fun. Being a Taurus is fun, in case any of you are wondering. All right. Do I have... Okay, perfect. So before I pull you guys your self-care, really get to know this person. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm sorry. Our initials. That's what I was forgetting. All right. These 3 feel right. Normally I try to do 2, but I've just been pulling through. Okay. Wow. A lot of people all the groups got really similar letters today. So we got C, Y, and L are your initials. So you do what you want with that. I think love you. See, I love you. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, maybe not. Okay. Before I sneeze, I'm going to go ahead and pull your self-care. So again, like lots of fun energies here. Might be a homebody, might be a traveler. Really getting to know them though, regardless. There might be aspects of these sorts of energies all intertwined. Really, really take your time. You're going to have a lot of fun. And on top of that, with these other aspects of like the zodiac, the hair, the initials, it's supposed to be fun, like I said, and so I added these aspects in there so that it could just be light and fun, and you could maybe even talk about this with this person one day about how you once, heard that they were going to be a Virgo or Taurus or whatever, and it's supposed to allow you to just carry on in your day knowing that there's something exciting around the corner, but not focus so hard on it that you're not detached, okay? This should just be fun, like it was when we were kids when we did that game. Okay, self-care oracle for yourself, group 3. How should you take care of yourself? Very important. Ooh, you got too many. Hold on, let me try again. I'm going to do this one. This one seems right. Movement. Move your body, friends. Very fun. That could be in terms of yoga, yes, dancing. It could even be in terms of travel. Like move your body. I also think of it in terms of meditation too. So like move yourself in a spiritual way, for instance. Just like how can you move that energy a bit more? Just move your energy, make it feel fun. I also think of it with this one too. Like these girls go out dancing and they have a good time. So that could be how you meet this person in some way as well. So that is it for you guys. Thank you so much, Group 3, for watching. I hope you really enjoyed it. This was a lot of fun to do. And so I hope you like it, and I'll catch you guys next time.